Some people think if I like social situations, therefore I'm an extrovert, and if I don't like them, then I'm an introvert. And I think a trap there is that you cannot like social situations because you don't know how to manage them. I could go out and have it be really fun and not terrifying, or I could stay in and have it be whatever that's going to be. Now I want to make the choice. Most of them are not grind set hustle culture type people, and I'm curious if that's just an accident of my friend circle, or if you've seen the same sort of thing in the people that you know. I think the way that I've heard most commonly defined is not, well, here's the trick, is some people think if I like social situations, therefore I'm an extrovert, and if I don't like them, then I'm an introvert. And I think a trap there is that you cannot like social situations because you don't know how to manage them. And therefore, any sort of social situation that you're in is going to suck. And you can compare it to, like, do you like basketball or don't you? Well, you would like it if you were a dominant center that was scoring all the time, and you'd probably hate it if you got blocked every single time. So it's tough to evaluate if you like social situations or not before you have the skill, talent, personality to succeed and enjoy them at the highest level. So what I saw is that at first I was like, no, I'm an introvert. Then I learned how to succeed in social situations, and I was elated, had a great time in bars, clubs, networking events, all those sorts of things. But in reflecting on it, I still see that those situations drained me, even at the end. And I really oftentimes enjoy staying home, reading a book, being left alone. And I get some of my best thinking and some of my happiest moments are alone. And I think there's something very introverted about that, when I could be out on a Friday night and I am just so happy to not be. Not because I couldn't do the things that I might want to do on that Friday night socially, but because I just love being alone. So that's why I say that I'm an introvert. Maybe you're predisposed to be an introvert, but you get this early positive feedback in social situations. That's going to be very different for how you wind up in life. So my goal was to know that I could succeed in social situations, and then to make that free choice, knowing I could go out and have it be really fun and not terrifying, or I could stay in and have it be whatever that's going to be. Now I want to make the choice. And I find myself increasingly making the choice to stay in, not out of fear, which is what it was for the first, 18, 20 years of my life, but out of a genuine free decision where I could find enjoyment in either scenario. When I first moved to California, throughout my 20s, I had trained myself, on Friday and Saturday nights, you go out, you have to have a good time. I had actually instilled in myself a sense of social FOMO, where if I wasn't participating in the event, I felt a tremendous amount of anxiety, and I didn't realize it until my first weekend in California, when I didn't have any friends in the area, and it was a Friday night. And by all accounts, I should have just moved my stuff in, unpacked. But I was like, I have to go. I have to find the bar. I got to be on Yelp. I got to go for whatever. I'm going to be by myself. That's what I have to do. And I recognized that while it was a fantastic journey and I learned a lot in becoming more outgoing and charismatic and confident, that I had created some new neuroses and some new anxieties around needing to do that instead of being able to do that. So that's sort of what I've been unwinding in the last couple of years, is truly trying to have the choice, because I recognize in my 20s, I felt like I had a choice, but really I just went to the flip side of the coin and demanded that of myself constantly. The advantages of one phase of your life will be the obstacles in the subsequent one. And the thing that you're trying to unwind, delegating. You had to learn when you were starting your business that you couldn't delegate. In fact, you probably would have loved to have delegated early on, but you needed to develop the skill of saying, I can't trust anybody to do this. Nobody's going to come help me. I got to do it myself. So you build that muscle, and it's absolutely necessary until you get to a point in which you have to go, hey, that thing that got you here is the obstacle to getting to whatever comes after this. And so I think that is true in any sort of personal development. And all that I've come up with is, when it's time, you're going to have to let go, and it's going to be a bitch. It's going to be very uncomfortable to unwind what you've done before and seemingly go backwards, but you're not. It's like a spiral. You couldn't delegate down here, and then you're coming back around, and now delegating is a good thing. I've noticed that the people around me, at least, that seem to struggle are some of the hustle culture people. And the people that have, now that I'm 34, and a lot of us started, we were 23, it's been 10 years. The people that have made businesses that have worked, they have worked hard, but they've never been grind set hustle. Most of them are not grind set hustle culture type people. And I'm curious if that's just an accident of my friend circle, or if you've seen the same sort of thing in the people that you know. I can at least say with myself, I work the hardest, get the most fit, do all the things when I feel the worst. And that's just me, and I don't want to put that on anybody else. But when I am recognizing how wonderful life is, I tend to sit more and just look around more, and I tend to work less. So I don't know what's going on with other people. And I know that Aubrey, I don't know the guy, but he's clearly deep into spirituality and all that other kind of stuff. It seems to me that the work is actually in service of preventing inner reflection. And that's actually why Stay So Busy, Work So Hard, is because it does you the favor of making you not have to look at any of the other sorts of things, which is, it's doing you a solid at that point. I've interacted with those types of people. We don't become close friends. I had a great conversation with you the other day, and it seemed like we're similar in that regard, which is we want a level of material success, but also these questions of for what, why, what got me into this, and what keeps me in this. Did I already achieve the thing that brought me here? And if I did, am I just gonna set more moving goalposts and convince myself that that's the game while living in a constant state of I'm not there? Or is there ever an arrival? And there's a lot of disagreement over this, but to me, I've been thinking a lot about what is enough in my life. And if I look back 10 years, my life today, I would have said would have been enough forever. So if it's not, then my mental scheme is screwed up. Something has gone wrong, and I need to reevaluate what started this drive in the first place. We had a sales day for our course yesterday that was near record highs, and the dopamine spike that I got from it was instantaneous, and now a new baseline has been set. And I can watch these sorts of processes unfold in me, and it's so frustrating. I just want the things that make me fulfilled, but I want the things that don't. And so what I've started trying to do is how to deal with this is to control my environment. Don't spend time on Instagram. Get off of the things that drive FOMO in you. It's almost, and maybe this isn't healthy, putting blinders on the things that trigger that sense of lack or of missing out. I think that any time you repress, deny, avoid, you have cheated yourself in a degree of the most fundamental solution to the problem. So if Instagram triggers me and makes me want to go out or be single or do any stuff like that, that is almost like the leaf of a plant that has a much deeper root. And so what I can do is I can, section off that leaf and not look at that leaf, but I haven't addressed whatever it is that was causing that to be a frustration or temptation in my life. And so, I have a mix. My approach is definitely mixed. It's on one hand, avoid the things that trigger me, but also I'm trying to do MDMA therapy and all these kinds of stuff where you do go in and you touch the root, and it has nothing to do with Instagram. It has and everything to do with you and your own feelings about yourself, and oftentimes early childhood experiences and all that. When you're first interacting with someone, a great way to be a conversational leader is to set the vibe a level higher than you need to. So people often say, "How are you doing?" And people often respond, "Fine." And I'm guilty of this as well. But if you want to practice being charismatic, find a way to amp yourself up to be fantastic or great or amazing. That immediately sets the conversation off on a stronger foot. You also get these very, very common questions. They're almost these social niceties that we ask one another when we're getting to know one another. What do you do for a living? Where are you from? And people take these gimme questions and just submarine the conversation. I'm from Philadelphia. I'm a consultant. And so in just teaching people, look, you already have habits. These aren't who you are. Can we just make these start the conversation off on a much stronger foot?